showtime.
Slab Hub.
Hello there, friends, and comic fiends. It's Rob in front. Nah, I can't even do it right. Hello, everyone. My name is Chris, the comic vet. Rob's on vacation, so it's my turn to run SlabHub. Oh, how I've been waiting for this day. No, I actually haven't. It's been a hell of a day. Anyways, yeah, today's going to be a fun show. I got one of the kindest guys in the co-pilot chair. I got one of the greatest human beings you'll ever going to meet as our guest to show off some of his collection again. And yeah, it's going to be a fun Slab Hub. Things are going to be a little bit different today. Not that different, but a little bit different. We are going to give away some stuff halfway through. Once we're about 15 or so slabs through it. And then again, at the end of the show, we're going to rock and roll with a little bit more some prizes. When we get to that part, I'll let you guys in on a little bit more of the secret and what I got planned. So like I said, one of the nicest guys in the comic book community. It's the grandfather of the Grow Together initiative. Sometimes I get tongue-tied with that one. And Gary, I'm sorry that I get tongue-tied with it, but my man, hope that you're doing well.
I am. Let's run this show to the ground.
Yeah.
How's that for nice? No. Very honored to be here to co-host with you, and I hope we do Rob proud today.
Yeah. I'm sure he's going to catch it on the rewind and be like, I can see him already. He's probably shaking his head already, pulling on his chin. But anyways.
He's probably already on a plane back.
Yeah. But like I said, one of the nicest human beings you're ever going to meet, it's Paul from Sector 2815. Paul, my man, how are you?
Hello. How's everybody doing today?
Good. And
I have to tell you that after that 30-second countdown, I really, it's all downhill from there.
I said to Rob, send me that file because I can do a little bit more editing than I think what Rob can do. I can add like little stuff here and there in a visual. And I said, send it to me and I'll start like popping Pokemon out of his butt kind of thing, and have fun with it that way. But I think Rob is sick of Pokemon, so he doesn't want anything to do with that. So it is what it is. But yeah, let's say hello to some of the comic book community members that have joined us in the chat today to take a look at what Slab Hub has to offer. Again, it's Las Crucias, 1971. James, my man, hope that you're doing well in New Mexico. Thanks for spending a little bit of your time with us. Chop and Drop, again, another wonderful comic book community member. Hope that you're doing well. Let's see. Oh, and it just jumped on me. Oh, and Rob is actually in the chat himself. My computer is being finicky today. And so Rob likes to start right at the bottom of the hour or at the top, wherever you are. But, I got to make it a little bit my own. So we made the people wait a little bit. And here we have War Machine Punisher. Hope that you're doing well, my man. One of the larger handles in the comic book community. And a fellow Canadian of mine, real James Willie. James, hope that you're doing well out there on the Pacific Coast. Hope that you and your wife are doing well. Let's see. Cole has joined us. Cole, my man, hope that you're doing well. I believe Cole's in the great state of Michigan, one of my favorite places to visit. And Mr. Bird, Kenneth Bird, another one of the nicer comic book community members, always lets everyone know when certain big streams or big shows are about to happen. Glad that you're with us. And so I will, everyone, try to pay attention to the chat while we're going through this. Rob's off to get a massage. I don't know if those words have ever been mentioned on a comic book community live stream before, but here we are.
And we now know that there's at least one masseuse that's going to retire for life today.
That's pretty good. I will catch you okay. Awesome. Like I said, I'll try to keep an eye on the chat, everyone. As everyone knows, Paul has actually got one of the finer slab collections that's ever graced this show. He's been on it. He's been on this show a handful of times before. We've seen some spectacular DC and Marvel keys. We actually got to see a lot of gold and silver age keys, and that weren't just DC. But definitely DC is a little bit more of Paul's flavor. He is a Green Lantern fan, in case you can't tell by his handle. And as Rob likes to say, Paul, are you ready to take us down a comic book slabbed journey, sir?
I am ready. First of all,
Okay.
thank you again for having me on. I really appreciate it. We're gonna do again. We're gonna like I like to do. I'm gonna kind of jump back and forth through time, and probably surprising a lot of people. I'm gonna actually start with a Marvel book.
Okay, so I'm going to put you
this
into the seat of honor. Hold on.
Okay.
Right, Rob's going to start sending me private messages. Don't forget to put them in there. Anyways, here we are. Let me just say a quick hello to Tom King. Not that Tom King. Tom, hope that you're doing well.
Okay.
And Jean has joined us. Bonjour, Jean. Hope that you're doing well in La Belle Province. And yeah, all right, Paul, my man, the stage is yours.
Okay. I was, as Chris said, I was kind of a DC guy growing up, but as I've gotten older, I've been trying to expand my my collection a little bit. So, this is from the Silver Age, 1964. This is Avengers number 7.
Oh boy,
Nice.
very
Um,
nice.
This is, and actually, you know what? I probably, like we did last time, Chris, I will probably rely on you to tell me more about these books than I probably know about them.
So I believe that's still Jack and Stan, the Dream Team, at the
It is,
helm
yep.
of their I believe the Avengers is actually their second team book that they released. Obviously, we all know the Fantastic Four was the first Marvel book ever published under that banner. But yeah, Avengers, this the issue that you have there. The Hulk is already gone. Captain America has returned, and yeah, it's we're now moving forward with probably the most iconic lineup that the Avengers had going into into the early to mid 70s at that point. I know that's still the early 60s what you have in your hand there, but that team stood together for a while before Vision showed up, and then we started having some other characters that start to bounce in and out, like i.e. Black Panther and Hawkeye, Wonder Man at that point as well. But yeah, that's a nice grade for the notorious Marvel chipping days at that point in the 60s.
And I miss how they have like they don't do it these days, like with Thor wielding his hammer and the spin action on the top. It just looks great. I miss those action covers like that. And not only that, look at all the colors on that cover. That thing is popping.
Yeah. Exactly.
Right from
That's
where,
one of the things that really called me to it was definitely the cover, obviously.
Yeah, for speaking for Gary and myself, from our vantage point, that book looks much better than a 4.0 just on the colors alone. To me, if you held that grade up, I would have guessed 6.5 or a 7 just based on the brightness and the colors of that. Now I get there might be stuff like there's some chipping or stuff on the back cover that we haven't seen, but yeah, I see Brother John Comics said hello. He's down there in beautiful Charlotte for Heroes Con, where there's a bunch of other members of the YouTube comic book community that are meeting each other and having a good time. On behalf of the three of us, John, we wish we were there with you, my man.
Exactly. So jealous.
But Paul, what's on the back of that book? Well, what's the ad for that one? Is that learn how to draw? Okay. Very cool. Very cool. Okay.
That was a tough thing about them back then too. All the back covers were mostly white with advertisements, so they got dirty really easy.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Biggie has joined us, my man. Hope that you're having a good day. Taylor Winder, what's up, nerds? Taylor has joined us, graces us with a little bit of his insight as well. Hope that you guys are having a wonderful day, and thanks for joining us on this different take of SlabHub.
Since I just did the Avengers, what I will do now is I will go just a little bit further back in time. Last time I was on, I had the second appearance of the Justice League. This time I'm going to have the third appearance of the Justice League.
Oh, wow.
This is Brave and the Bold, number 30. This is the first appearance of Amazo and Professor Ivo. So Amazo is the android who could basically mimic any Justice League member's powers. And it also has a Mirror Master appearance as well. But this is their third and last appearance in Brave and the Bold before they got their own.
Very cool. So Superman at that point is not a part of the team. Like I don't see him as
Superman
a
and
character.
Batman are still not. Yeah, they basically in the Brave and the Bold basically had Aquaman, Martian Manhunter, Wonder Woman, Flash, and Green Lantern. Just those 5.
You know,
Very
and I'm
cool.
wondering how many covers there are of the Justice League being stuck in tubes, because that seemed like a thing back in the day. You know, like every 25 covers, they're all stuck in a tube somewhere.
Yeah. That seemed to be an ongoing thing. Like it wasn't just DC's. Like everyone's like, okay, we're gonna put them in some sort of plastic chamber or glass chamber. Yes, you're right. Like
Right, like that was the only thing that they couldn't conquer is a glass tube, right?
right. Like yeah, especially like Martian Manhunter or Green Lantern or Wonder Woman. There, like
Well, if you notice though, the tube is tinted a little bit yellow, so that takes care of Green Lantern.
Right.
Oh.
Right. Yeah, that's
and Soups has got to be kryptonite glass.
Yeah, that's
right,
that's
exactly.
pretty cool. So, Paul, what's on the back of that cover?
This is Win a Beautiful Signet Ring.
Oh boy.
You know,
some
of the ads on the back are almost exactly. Some of the ads are just as interesting, if not more so, than some of the stuff that's actually in the.
They are, especially since they're a
some of these
snapshot of the time period. A lot of the times of what's being sold.
Yep, that's pretty damn cool, Paul. Pretty damn cool.
Okay. Now I'm going to jump way back. Now this is from 1942. This is Wiz Comics number 34.
Oh, we're gonna have the Flash. Oh, pardon me,
Captain
Captain Marvel.
This is Captain Marvel.
Okay,
Yep.
wow.
Uh-oh. You showed a Wiz comic. That means Jerry the Jitterbug is going to pop in a second.
1942. Wow.
Yeah.
It's interesting. So that cover doesn't have any propaganda on it that I can see from my vantage point at all. So yeah, that's pretty cool.
And again, the colors are great because those Wiz comics, the colors and the covers go fast.
Yeah, the paper Fawcett used was a little bit thinner and everything than DC and Marvel used at the time.
Very cool. Paul, who's the creative team for that book then in 1942?
It is C. Carino, Ken Battlefield, and Harry Anderson.
Who is that next to him up top? Is that Spy Smasher?
It's Captain Midnight, I believe.
Oh, okay.
Oh no, you're right. It's Spy Smasher. Yep, Spy Smasher. You're right.
Very cool. Yeah,
and
again,
we talked about this
bright and colorful.
The last time. Yeah, and we talked about this last time. Is he really outselling Superman at this point?
Right.
In 1942.
Right. Dave collects. Which has joined us.
Yeah, that is a beauty.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's 6.5. That's an incredible grade for the age of that book. That's what, 70 years old easily now? You said 1942? 80 years, pardon me? Yeah. Yep. Great.
But yeah, usually when you see those, they're in the 0.5 to 1 to 1.5 range.
Yeah. 6.5, my God, someone was a collector even then at that point. And for that book to survive everything that happened to comic books in the next 10, 15 years after that book was published and have it look that great, incredible.
Right?
Yeah,
no writing
like I mentioned, the paper that
big back then.
Yeah, the paper that they used turned out very brittle as well.
Yeah, is that off-white? Like I can't see the wordage that's underneath the grade there. Is it cream to off-white or just off-white?
It's off-white to white.
Oh, wow, incredible! Like you get off-white to white with books that are less than 10 years old sometimes now.
Right.
Yeah, that's great.
That is a beauty.
Okay. Hey, this one is a book that's extremely new from this year, actually, from February. This is something that I just from Collectibles. This is Batman number 118, the Miko Suyan cover. I absolutely adored this cover. I'm like, I had to have it. And this is from Big Time Collectibles. This was the beginning of the Josh Williams run.
Yes.
And and so and again, I mean, just look at that cover, and it was like, I don't want any, I want Virgin to, I want to see just the cover.
And it presents like a movie poster. It's got that kind of quality to it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and it's so busy, but yet its beauty is minimal as well. It's Miko is a modern day master. Let's be honest, he does some terrific stuff. Now, Paul, I know that you're currently reading DC, some of the bigger DC titles. I know that you're reading Batman. How are you enjoying the Williamson run now that it's about to come to a conclusion?
I really like it, but in a lot of ways, though, because Williamson is really kind of the architect of the current DC universe.
Right. He definitely has his hands in the backbone.
Yeah, he's doing that now, obviously, with Dark Crisis, which is kind of like the spine of DC, right? The DC universe right now. He just did some incredible things, even leading up to, he did Infinite Frontier, and Infinite Frontier led into Justice League Incarnate, leads into Dark Crisis, in the Death of the Justice League. So he has had this plan that has been years in the making, and now it's really kind of coming all to fruition with Dark Crisis. His Shadow, the Shadow War, it was just incredible, and what he did with Deathstroke. Deathstroke is on a whole nother level. If anyone thought Deathstroke was badass before, where he is now is like took him up another notch. If you're reading any of the Shadow War or Deathstroke or Dark Crisis, it's just he has just taken everything he's touched and made it better, which is really all you can ask for a writer.
Yeah, I agree. My introduction to Williamson was actually on his very long run on The Flash, which was, let's be honest, The Flash is a little bit of a B character I get that he's a part of the Justice League, but on his own monthly, there's only so much you can do with a character that runs fast or whatever, but I really enjoyed the later half of the run on The Flash. But yeah, let's get into some more slabs then.
Okay. All right. Let's jump back now to Marvel. This is from 1987. This is the issue that caused Joe Quesada to have Ajita. This is
yes,
great cover.
And
a nice 9/8 with all that white on it.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. I can remember picking this up off the shelves, and I remember seeing the ad for the Amazing Spider-Man for this particular book. And I remember the big event that happened around it, that there was actually a costume Spider-Man and MJ that got married, I believe, in Shea Stadium or whatever, and then the whole big event of Peter and MJ getting married. But what I remember was picking up my copy and that it didn't have the heroes versus the villains on the back. For some reason, in the background, mine had the extended family, the extended friends and family edition. And I didn't realize till later that there's actually two copies of that ASM annual. One that features what Paul has in his hands there, where, they have some of the bigger characters in the background taking on some members of the Sinister Six. And the other one has like J. Jonah Jameson, Aunt May, Robbie, the Osborn clan, all there instead of that battle, but it's still the same figures of MJ and Spider-Man in the forefront. But yeah, it's an incredibly important book, and those that are MJ fans, that's one of the crown jewels in my opinion.
There's only one girl for Peter Parker, and that's MJ.
Yeah,
and that's coming from a diehard Black Cat
fan. He really hit the jackpot with that, right?
Yeah.
Gene Malo. Why do Black Adam and Captain Marvel have the same logo? Basically, because they get their powers from the same collection of gods. Is why they have the same logo.
Right. Yeah, and they're kind of the yin and the yang of each other.
That's right. Right. Yeah, the Captain Marvel or Shazam is something that's more of a title that's handed down. There's always seems to be through history one of those people, but there's always been a Black Adam since what Black Adam's supposed to be, 10,000 years old at this point, whatever it is.
Yeah.
But there's always been that positive side of that, like exactly what Gary said, the yin and the yang. There's always that positive to go with the negative. Bam.
And the movie that I am most looking forward to in the next 12 months, Black Adam.
Yeah, DC's going to be hanging a lot on that movie.
All right. Let's. I got 2 sets of a couple of comics that I'm going to do in honor of 2 comic creators who have passed away recently. The first is Neil Adams. This is Brave and the Bold number 80. This is just before Neil Adams did any interior. Well, let me backtrack that. He did the Strange Adventure of Dead Man. Before he did any Batman interiors, he did a lot of Batman covers in Brave and the Bold and things like that. And then he did some interiors on Brave and the Bold before he moved on to the Batman title proper. This is one of my favorite covers from his run on the covers of Batman and the Creeper. I think it's the Bug. I hate bugs, but I love this Bug. I just love how menacing it is.
I'll be honest. The very first time I got Neil Adams' autograph was on that book. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, the first time I ended up picking that book. Picking that book out of a $5 box was in pretty rough shape for $5. I believe that book also has a first appearance. Like Paul, if you take a look at the top right corner, there's a first appearance of whatever that villain is. I forget his name, but
yep, the Helgramite.
Right, and so I ended up paying $5, and then I think at the time $25. Maybe or $20 for Neil Adams to sign that book. I've since traded that book away over time, I think, for an ASM with David Adams or something somewhere along the line. But yeah, that book has a special tie to me too. I get it, man. Yeah, but Neil Adams, that whole time period couldn't do wrong as far as I'm concerned.
I don't know why seeing that insect creature just reminds me of when Spider-Man had the 6 arms.
Yeah. yes, that was around the Morbius introduction, was it not? Yeah.
Yeah.
It was
right around
before.
ASM 100, 101,
ASM 100
102.
was where that was the big panel at the end of ASM 100, sporting those arms.
Yeah. Right. Very cool. Very cool.
And the perspective on it's great too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really is. And I love the Creeper too. I mean, he is not used enough.
DC's guilty of that with a bunch of their characters right now.
Yeah,
they really are.
So
I kind of had a couple of them. So yeah, his second cover that I really kind of love, which is very minimal, but this is Batman 200.
Yeah, that's a famous cover. Yeah. Love it.
Again, it wasn't until probably, a little bit later, about a year or 2 after this, that he then started doing some interiors for both Batman and Detective. He would kind of go back and forth. But this is just such a great cover. Again, not a lot going on. I love the covers in the background, highlighted in the purple. And again, but then just his Batman and Robin.
That's my favorite Batman costume ever. Is that particular one? The blue, the gray, the yellow symbol.
Yeah.
I don't think the costume was ever better than it was then.
Paul, what's the year of release for that book? Is that 68?
It is. It's March of 68, which means it probably came on the shelves like the very end of 67 or the beginning of 68, because they would always be on the shelves for like 3 months.
Yeah.
Wow.
So yeah, that's they tried to keep the costume a little bit similar in design to what Adam West was wearing at the time, because the television show was still out at that point, even though it was starting to go into rerun almost, I believe at that point. I know they made X amount of hundreds of episodes, but it didn't last that long. That they didn't have multiple seasons. Obviously, they just had lots of filming. But yeah, that was around that point when DC decided not to change their costumes that much, to try and keep it a little bit more like the television show, so that kids were picking it up off the shelves and stuff. But yeah, that's again a famous cover as far as I'm concerned. That's a nice book, especially in an 8.0.
Right?
Yeah.
with all that white on the cover.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, and then my last Neil Adams cover is this is a relatively recent. This is from 2020. This is the Green Lantern 80th anniversary. This is from his store. It's actually obviously it's signed. You can see by the yellow label, but it's signed by him. This came directly from Krusty Banks, I believe was the name of his store. That's what they put on the label. Instead of putting the Neil Adams store, they put the Krusty Bankers edition. So
Nice.
I've never seen that cover before.
Yeah, me neither. That's why I was like leaning in.
Where's the signature placement on that one, Paul? I can't see it from our vantage.
It is way down in the corner. It's in gold, so it's a little bit. Let me go over here.
Yeah. Okay. There it is. Yep. Yeah. Looks good. Mm-hmm. Yep. I always enjoyed his take on the Green Lantern. Very nice.
Yeah. Another character that him and Denny O'Neil, when they put them with Green Arrow, basically redefined comics. His Green Lantern, Green Arrow 76 with Denny O'Neil is considered to be the start of the Bronze Age. Because of they for a couple of reasons.
Yep.
One, exactly, it had adult storytelling, but also because it was really kind of the first time that you had creators who grew up wanting to create comics, that were actually doing comics. Up until that point, it was people in ties and suits. And, Stan Lee was famous for saying that, he didn't want to do comics when he was younger. He thought it was something that was, people wouldn't tell people that they wrote comics before then.
Right.
Right.
And then you had Denny and Neil who grew up wanting to do comics. That's all that they ever wanted to do, And so that's considered to be by many the beginning of the Bronze Age, the Green Lantern.
And you're right. And a lot of the letters that ended up getting published in some of those comic books in that era into the mid 80s, a lot of those, there's a lot of comic books that ended up having famous creators attached to those as well. Like Frank Miller ended up having a letter published in a comic book in the mid 70s as well, before he made his venture over and started hanging it with Neil Adams as well. But I just thought of that. It's actually now, I guess Denny and Neil are actually back together again. So it's nice that way. But again, now everyone else is absent, those two legendary creators. But that's
in the Green Arrow, the Oliver McQueen character back then was so much fun. Before we had this TV show that drained all the humor and life out of him.
Yeah, and the ladies' man too.
Yeah,
it was really portrayed as a ladies' man.
He had a bit of Tony Stark in him.
Yeah,
he really did. Yep. Yeah. Okay. Next is something that came out in 2021. It's not really a comic. It is DC Nation Presents Future State. This was the preview that was sent to stores. This is actually the local comic shop day edition. So there was only one per store. You can kind of tell by the border, right? Is that the local comic shop day edition too?
I think this is the normal one. So this is the blue cover or the blue.
This is the dark blue, but exactly. Yeah. This is really important. This has the first Yarrow floor in it.
That's right. Again, if she can get herself a good writer, fantastic character, interesting character to move forward with.
Yep, absolutely. And it's a wraparound cover. Obviously, Dan Mora did the cover. Who I think Dan Mora is one of the hardest working people in comics. He does World's Finest. He does seemingly 10 covers a month for DC, and he does Once and Future for Boom. He's still doing that as well,
right?
Which is an incredible series as well. So
yes, it's actually unheralded. It needs a little bit more praise. Yep.
It does. I love Once and Future. So so that's the DC Nation Presents Future State. Okay. Let's go back now to December of 2020. This is one of my favorite John Tyler Christopher Negative Space covers.
Oh man.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
The only thing that really kind of bums me about this, and I think I mentioned this on one of the previous shows, was it's an 8.5. I feel like when I sent it, it was a 9.8. When it came back, it has a bend on the cover
Oh no!
right down here. So I kind of feel like somebody dropped it somewhere at
It's funny you
CGC.
said that. I got 2 books back today. One from like 1974 and one from last year. When I scan the grader's notes, they both say bottom right corner bend. I can't see the bend on either book, but they didn't have the bend when I sent them out. I already know that. It was weird that books so far apart would have the exact same issue, unless they both got dropped while they were there.
Right.
Yeah, I wonder if it's the courier that actually takes it down there. Like, if it's more than one, I find that, like, I'm curious if it's more than one that gets bent. Is it actually a shipping problem on the way down to Sarasota, or is it someone there that's sipping their coffee and the book slips off the table kind of thing while they're looking at it? Who knows? But
Right.
I hope 10 years from now that when they go to grade a book, there's actually a video of them with the book, like an overhead shot where you can actually see them handling and inspecting the book kind of thing. And if the book's in the shape that you sent it out in, then if there's an issue at that point then. But yeah, that's I remember during COVID how hot that book got, along with the Wolverine yellow background one as well. Those
I
are
think my favorite's the
books.
Spider-Woman one, just because I'm a big Jessica Drew fan.
Yeah, but again, like for me, I also like the one that he did with the Scarlet Witch, but yeah, Mr. Christopher is just he's nailed those niche covers down, and so much of them have gone up in value and seem to retain that value as well. That's a fire book, and you don't have to be a Star Wars fan to appreciate it.
They're missing out on doing a Stormtrooper one where you could just have just the black parts of the costume showing and the gun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like one of his recent ones
idea.
too, the one that he did with Moon Knight.
Yes.
And that guy's got the market cornered on a few different styles, because he also is the one who started the toy variants, right?
Yes, the action figure
Right.
variants.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, where do I want to go next? Let's go back again to this is another
Warlord
BTC collectible. This is Venom #1. This is the Scan cover.
It wouldn't be Slab Hub without some sort of Todd McFarlane homage, right?
Exactly. There's no possibility that I could gather 22, 23 bucks and not have a Todd McFarlane in somewhere. I think it just the odds against it happening are just incredible.
But yeah, that's a beautiful take, actually. Beautiful take. Yeah, I really like
good atmosphere.
The background works, and how the light is reflecting off the suit from the one angle. Yeah, it looks really, really well. It really shows the level of what today's artists can deal with, as opposed to in the 80s. Yeah, it's sharp.
Mm-hmm.
I did have a question though, Paul.
Yes.
Your second or third slab was a BTC exclusive that you showed. The Batman Williamson with the Miko cover. Now, did you pick that one up slabbed from BTC, or did you have that one sent to CBCS yourself?
No, this one I bought slabbed.
Okay, very cool. Okay, yeah,
I wanted to guarantee a 9.8.
Very cool. Yeah, that was the question I forgot to get out.
Yeah, because if you send in a modern book and you don't get a 9.8, it's such a bummer when you get it back.
Oh, I'm telling you.
Yeah, and it almost seems like they're sending out less 9.8s, for modern books now anyway,
Well, yeah, they've definitely got a little,
especially
in my
with
opinion,
the
tougher.
with their paper quality right now. Their cover quality is just horrible.
Yeah.
Okay. I think I got one more, and then I think maybe we're about at the halfway. This is from 1950. This is All-Star Comics number 50.
Ooh.
Wow. Look at that Green Lantern.
Mm-hmm.
His name is Alan Scott?
Alan Scott.
Yes. Very cool. All-Star Comics. Paul, what's that say for the notes there on the right side then?
It says 3-page backup story by Frank Frazetta.
Oh.
well, hello, Gary.
I know, right? You had me at Frank Frazetta.
Yeah. So this was kind of towards the end of the initial run of All-Star Comics. I want to say they did maybe 60 originally, and then it got canceled, and then it picked up again in the 70s when Paul Levitz and Wally Wood started doing it to start, and then it was kind of Paul Levitz and Joe Staton. That was when they actually, well, it was when Power Girl came on the scene. Was one of the first issues that they did. Yeah, this is kind of towards the end of the initial run of All-Star Comics. And this was, so this was done bi-monthly because this is December 49 and January of 1950. So.
Wow.
Yeah, that is beautiful.
4.5, very, very nice grade.
Now, whose finger is that on the cover? Whose hand? Do we know?
No. I do not know. This is the Prophecy of Peril.
Fine. Is there any other kind?
They're always in peril.
Right.
So
very nice.
Yeah, I mean, I just love all the Golden Age DC stuff. I can't get enough of it. So
yeah, I mean that's gorgeous.
Okay, I think that's just about halfway, Chris, from where I was.
Okay. All right. So yeah, we have 21 people hanging out in the chat right now, enjoying the show. Please, everyone, make sure you hit that like button for Rob's channel. And some of the rules are going to be quite simple. So in order to participate in the giveaway that I'm going to be hosting in a moment, make sure that you are subscribed to Sector 2815, to Gary B, the Casual Comic Guy, and myself. Let's get Paul's subs up there. Let's continue the push well past 1,000 for Gary. I'd like to get to 1,000 at some point myself. It's
okay to unsub Rob on this episode.
What you do with Rob right now, that's up to you.
That's a message from Taylor Winder because he's trying to stay ahead of Rob.
But so I do not like, unfortunately, unlike Rob, I don't have a short box full of books. However, I did put together 2 different prize packs of what I consider to be 3 fabulous books each. It will be up to the first winner, whether he takes or she takes the books that will be in my right hand or my left hand. But in order to participate, all you have to do is, once I get this set up here, is put in the hashtag Sector 2815. I see Tyler's joined us, my man. Yeah, it's you. With that being said, Gary, while everyone puts the hashtag in there, what do you have coming up on your channel? And by the way, that was a great show last night that you did, your patriotic covers.
It was a lot of fun. The guests were great. I think we laughed for 2 straight hours. Just had the best time.
Yeah.
Really great turnout in the audience. We had a lot of people watching. I also have of course, later today, my Savage Saturday comic review. I have coming up on the 10/11. Of course, as soon as I go to tell you, I'm old. It slips my mind. We have Cuppy, William from Cup of Comics on the 10/11.
Oh, very nice. Very nice.
And then we have, he's in the audience now, Dale of Suspense on In the Hot Seat with the Usual Suspects.
Wonderful. I'm looking forward to seeing some of his J. Scott Campbell books. I know Dale's like myself. He's a big J. Scott Campbell fan. So I hope they bring some Spider-Man heat to the hot seat. But yeah.
And his own patented sense of humor.
And his yes. And some of his very cool stickers. So I see that we have 15 entries in right now. We have 21 people hanging out, enjoying the show. I'll give this another 10 seconds or so for everyone to get in there, and so the generator can collect it. Like I said, I'll be giving away 3 books from 2 different piles. One will be in my left hand, one will be in my right hand. I will let the winner decide which hand for the collection of books I put together. Everyone that's watching right now, if you won something on my channel recently from my 700 subscriber push, on or my new comic book day hangout, please give me a little bit more time. I'm in the process of changing my careers. Once that's done, I will hit up the mailbox and I will send everything off. So I can guarantee you'll have it by Christmas.
Right. He's just shining up the pole on a street corner.
And with that being said, let's give away some books, boys. Boom. Shop for Comics.
Oh, congrats, Shop.
For comics. Nice.
Very good. Very good. I'll pull that. Shop, my man. Congratulations. Reach out to me on Instagram like you have before. Let me have your email. And also remind me which collection of books that you're about to pick from was yours. So I'm going to blow myself up a little bit bigger here. And I will take a collection. This is my right hand. This is my left. Shop for Comics, right or left?
See how long the delay is here on the
Should
chat.
be about 10 seconds.
Who's going to go with the left, Chris?
So this is my left hand. Okay. The first, so I'm a little jelly of this book, but I know it's going to go to a good home then. This is the variant edition of Moon Knight #1.
Oh, beauty cover.
It is a great cover.
The second book is one of my favorite characters and one of the best artists of all time. This is Captain America 0, featuring Alex Ross's work on the front.
Mm-hmm.
That is incredible.
This is the springboard issue that's now going into the brand new volume, Captain America, Sentinel of Liberty, which had a terrific issue #1 that was released last week or the week before, I believe. Yeah, this is Kelly and Jackson Lansing that's at the helm for the storytelling of this one. But again, Alex Ross, like, guys, come on, right? Like, anyways, it wouldn't be a prize pack without my favorite character. So this is the Mobius, and I know Gary knows who I'm talking about. The Mobius variant for the Amazing Spider-Man issue 800.
Wow.
So yeah, this is a little bit of a thicker book. Issue 800, landmark issue, as we all know, and we're now approaching 900, probably in the next month or 2 or 3. But yeah, this is I'm
Right, and you gotta love him. Just classic Spidey on the side of a wall, just looking over the city.
Yeah, very, very cool. Okay, so just to recap. Moon Knight variant #1, Captain America Alex Ross issue 0, and ASM 800, the Mobius variant edition. So yeah, my man,
congrats,
Shop. Reach out to me on IG with your address. I will get that out to you when I have a little bit of time.
And you know he's a big Spider-Man collector, so I'm sure that Mobius one's got a nice place in his PC.
Yeah. And
those are great books.
Shop, my pleasure. And yeah, I see Pandas join us. Hope that you're doing well. Yeah, Alex Ross has been hitting a lot of home runs, especially his Immortal Hulk run was just terrific. So yeah, everyone that's watching right now, stick around. There's still one more tri-pack of books that I will give away at the tail end of this show. But in the meantime, let's get back into some sexy slab in action. To quote Rob, and let me set this up properly here. Boom, boom, boom.
And I do want to mention, I like the Spider-Man homage shirt you got on with Robin there.
That's pretty good.
Boy Wonder no more. Robin no more. Yeah. Before we get started, Cole asked a question about whether or not I've read New Frontier. I absolutely have read New Frontier. It is an amazing story. Darwin Cook just absolutely knocked it out of the park. Yes. It is really a love letter to the Silver Age of DC.
Agreed.
So, however, let's jump back to this is 1968. This is Captain America number 107. This I couldn't tell you what happens inside. Maybe you can, Chris, but I absolutely love this cover. This is just an amazing Kirby cover.
Oh.
Very cool. I can't remember if that's the tail end of the Black Panther arc that was initially started when he got his own ongoing monthly, or if that's into something that's entirely different. But yeah, that is pure Kirby goodness on the cover. Like come on, that's you think of Kirby, that's some of the imaging that you think of, the big bombastic explosion, everything. Yeah.
Well, I'll say with the covers like that, and this is what I miss. Like, of course, you had that Venom cover earlier, and it's just a one shot, and you have kind of a plain background, although it had like an alien feel to it, which was fitting. Yes. But these old Bronze and Silver Age books, and even the Golden Age, they have so much to catch the eye that's in the background without sacrificing the hero in the foreground. But there's a lot for your eye to look at. And you can spend sometimes longer looking at one of these covers than it takes to read one of the modern books.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. New World says it's the first Dr. Phosphorus. So he definitely, I know the next one, 108, was the Origin issue, the famous Origin cover.
Right.
But yeah, so first Dr. Phosphorus, thank you. So, but again, this excuse me, this was typically just a cover by for the Kirby cover. So
love it. Very respectable 6.8.
You can't go wrong with Kirby back in the day.
Let's jump back now to 1962. This is Action Comics number 285.
Yes.
This is probably the second most famous Supergirl cover, the first being her first appearance.
Right.
This was when she was announced to the world that she existed.
I can't believe it, but I've never seen that cover before, Paul. It's my first time seeing this. Yeah, so, are you a Supergirl fan, Paul?
I mean, not overly. But obviously, being a DC character and wanting to
I didn't know if you read the recent storyline, Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow. That was incredible.
Tom, absolutely love the Tom King.
That was one of my favorite reads in the last 2 years. That whole 8 issues was just fantastic.
I concur. Yeah, it was very good. A nice, space western, if you will. That Woman of Tomorrow was a great story. But yeah, that cover, I don't know if I've actually seen one that bright. Like, you can really see difference between the flowers she's carrying and the emblems that are on their chest, because the ones I've seen before, they kind of just like faded and they look incredibly similar, but you can tell the two distinct covers there. Again, if you would have said to me, Chris, pick a grade on that, 6.5 every day of the week. Yeah, that's a great book.
Right. That presents so beautifully. Yeah. Well, that's the thing. You could have these fantastic covers and you see a grade like a 4.0, and it's just got to be for whatever the condition of the pages inside are. But it has nothing to do with how well the book presents.
Right.
I mean, that's a great piece of art just to have.
Right. Yep. You can tell just by looking at it too. If you're a Superman fan, you can tell Kurt Swan art as soon as you see it. The pretty much the quintessential Superman artist. When anyone thinks of Superman nowadays, it probably is a Kurt Swan figure that they see in their mind.
Now, is he the one who came up with the classic pose, like, with the arm down and the one arm out to fly?
Yes. Yep.
Just to get that information out there for the masses.
Yeah. All right.
And probably when you're talking about the Christopher Reeves movie, one of the most iconic images is when he first does that pose. It takes you right to the comics.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Okay, now I'm going to do my second little kind of grouping for this won't surprise anybody who knows me. I'm sure Chris won't surprise you. Is my second creator that I'm going to do is basically George Perez.
Yes. I hope you show every cover in this miniseries. Yeah.
I don't. I wish I could, but I did 3 on one of the previous shows, the wraparound. So,
yeah, love it.
Yeah. This is and I know which cover you're talking about. You know, the Superman holding the hammer and the shield is just incredible. I actually have that. It's not actually I have it, but I have it remarked, but it's not slabbed.
Oh,
so I actually have two of them
CBCS.
remarked by George Perez.
Wait,
I have two of them remarked by George Perez.
Oh,
you know
one has
where
Superman.
you can show that book.
Yeah.
Is on the 1011 where you don't need to have your book slabbed.
There you go.
That's a show I run. There's 10
nice
paper books. Got to fit that in there, Chris.
I will be happy to come. You just let me know when. But it has.
I'll contact you.
Yeah, on the back, they have two issues. One has a Superman bust, and the other one has a Batman bust. Both remarked by George Perez.
Incredible. I love that cover. Personally, I would have put Superman beside Captain America. That would be my only change, just because to me, they're the original franchisable characters for each of the publishers. For me, if you go all the way back to Timely, it's Captain America. And obviously the first in the King of the Mountain to me is Superman. But yeah.
And they kind of represented the same thing, right? The American ideal back in the day.
Yeah.
So.
But yeah, but to put Wonder Woman beside them, I can't fault George for that. Again, she is just as iconic as the rest of them. But yeah, in such a good series too, especially with Thor just going at Superman with the hammer and Superman just catching it. Like, stop it! Like, I'm the god of lightning, or I'm the god of thunder. And
it gets even better on the back too. So.
Yeah. But yeah. Iconic. It's
something I don't have really in my collection is a lot of Perez, like that his Wonder Woman run. I love the art, and I have like a trade of it, but I mean obviously now it's getting priced out, but his Wonder Woman was just to me iconic, and his Future Imperfect with Hulk was amazing, and
they did give him a little bit of leeway when they did the New 52. And that's when I got a chance to get his autograph. He was at the helm for full control of Superman when they did the New 52, and I actually really enjoyed this run. I found there was times when he wasn't sure what to do with the character, because Superman is. I don't like when they play up that they think that Superman's like a big dumb guy when he's not. He's not at all. But again, it was an enjoyable series, and that was my introduction to Perez as a writer outside of the new Teen Titans stuff that he was doing in the early 80s when I first got into serious reading of titles that way. But yeah, we've had a shitty year when it comes to comic book creators.
I wish I had some Tim Sale that was slabbed as well. I would have brought some.
And also, I'm going to put out there, just because I'm the Barbarian guy.
Yeah.
The loss of Ken Kelly is pretty rough for our
Ken Kelly as well. Yep. And we're only in June.
Yeah. And to your point, Chris, too, about George Perez on Superman, he took it because they gave him control. It was when they took control back, that's when he basically said, "I'm out of here. You guys do what you want." The other thing that I want to mention about this too is, I mean, obviously, I love this because you have George Perez drawing both the Avengers and and the Justice League. But one of the reasons why I found I actually loved this too was because knowing George Perez, as obviously I don't know him personally, but knowing his reputation, what a great guy he was, how everything he did was, this was the fulfillment of his lifelong dream, was to do JLA Avengers.
Yeah. And it's such a special series, and it wasn't one that's regarded as silly or anything like that. It's it was, in the end, everything that you would hope for in a series. And then at the end, you had that iconic the iconic moment when the Man of Steel picks up Mjolnir and Captain America's shield, and it's like, in the end, who above them all, who would be the last man standing? It would be the Man of Tomorrow. So that Superman picked up Mjolnir, and that the lightning bolts came around, and he picked up Captain America's shield, and on one knee too. It just it delivered. And like I said, it didn't have that silliness that some of the 70s crossover stuff had. This one was just good, straightforward storytelling. After they battled each other, then they realized what was going on and moved forward collectively. It was good storytelling.
Absolutely. So this is probably one of his, I would say one of his probably top 2 or 3 most iconic covers. This is New Teen Titans #1.
Oh, yep.
Yes, it is. Yep. Yeah. Yeah. But top 10 for me. Top 10.
Yep.
If I were to list Perez's covers, that's top 10 easily.
Yeah, I think his top 2 to me are this one and Crisis on Infinite Earths #7.
And this cover always reminded me of the Micronauts as well, or the Micronauts cover reminded me of this, but
yeah,
that.
Yeah, I agree. That to me, that's #1. The Superman holding Supergirl.
Yes,
I think that's his most iconic cover. But that one, and then obviously the introduction of Nightwing, some of the Deathstroke stuff. It's he home run after home run after home run. Now for those that are watching, the Tales of the New Teen Titans. What year was that launched? I'm going to guess 81.
1980.
1980. Okay, and
very close, Chris.
Yeah, and
close.
they've been one of those flagship books ever since, right? There's always a Teen Titans book every month in some form. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I know I told this last time, but the story about this whole thing is kind of, really. I think the story behind it is almost as interesting as everything that's in the comic. He basically just agreed to do this. He thought it would last 6 issues. He wanted to do Justice League. He wanted to do Justice League, but Dick Dillon was still drawing it at the time. The longtime artist of Justice League, Dick Dillon, was drawing it, and so he agreed to do this with Marv Wolfman, thinking it would be just 6 issues, and then right after he started this, Dick Dillon passed away. He ended up drawing both Justice League and New Teen Titans for a couple months, realized he couldn't do both, and he realized how much he actually loved the New Teen Titans, so that's where he stayed.
Yeah. To me, it's just looking back, like 9 or 10 years old, reading Teen Titans and the Uncanny X-Men, to me, those were the 2 books that kind of hooked in those young readers that felt a little bit different from everyone else, that that were the outsiders at school, that didn't have a that weren't one of the cool kids or had a clique or whatever. I felt like those 2 books were relatable, at least to me, being, the runt of the class. Now I'm 6'1", I'm bigger than all of them today. But,
but no. Is that your favorite Perez cover, Paul?
Yeah, I would say this probably is. I actually, although I think 7 is probably more iconic, I actually like Crisis on Infinite Earths #1.
Yeah, that's my favorite too. Yeah. And I'm not even a Superman person, but that
the Anti-Monitor cover
is so iconic.
Yeah, and they're mentioning in the chat too. Infinity Gauntlet #1 is another one, and
that's iconic as well.
The colors, and I think it's such a small thing, I think, but the way the each gem glitters, and you get that glitter off of the gem, it's like it's just how he was able to draw that is just incredible.
And just when you're talking Superman artists too, you always think of John Byrne, but then George Perez is right up there.
Yeah,
agreed.
Yep.
Superman's
and
had
I was
some
also able to
artists.
get they have the new George Perez labels too from CGC.
Very nice, very nice.
And his little trademark smile.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Which I think $5 from each one of these, or the pro or whatever,
totally
goes to his estate as well.
That's the thing. Another one of those creators that whenever you saw him, he was smiling and he was engaged with the community.
And he always had a Hawaiian shirt on.
Yeah.
Hey, he could afford to live comfortably.
He was not afraid to wear a bold shirt. For a humble man, he wore a bold shirt.
Right. And then my last one for Perez is still with the New Teen Titans, but I just got this back along with the New Teen Titans #1, and that is New Teen Titans #2, which is the first Deathstroke. So
see, that's top 10 for me right there.
That cover too.
Yeah,
the way he's got the cloak going.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. John, my man, hope that you're doing well. Thanks for joining us today. Yeah, iconic. It's
nice, Adrian.
Love it. So just for laughs, since that's early 80s, what's on the back of that cover? Is it Spalding?
No, but you're how times have changed. This is the Dingo Kids meet O.J. Simpson.
Oh. As a Buffalo Bills fan, I enjoy that cover.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's funny how the cover aged well, but the back cover,
Yeah, not so much.
Yeah. What are you gonna do? The
Yeah.
man was iconic during those years, right?
Exactly. So apparently the boots fit, but the gloves didn't.
Right.
Well done, ladies and gentlemen. That's Slab Hub. Good night. We're out.
Great segue. Great one-liner.
Pretty good.
Oh, that was awesome.
All right.
Okay. Let's go to since John is with us now. And last time actually not last time, but I showed on one of the shows, I showed the first appearance of Green Lantern. This is the second appearance of Green Lantern.
Oh boy.
This is showcase number 23.
Yes. Wow.
That is great.
Wow. So what you got to fill us in, Paul, now. What's being said in that word bubble right there?
It says, not even Green Lantern's mighty power ring can stop me from setting off this atomic bomb explosion. This was
not the A-bomb.
No, exactly. In the end of the end, this was the end of 59. It was all about the atomic age. In the previous one, he had an atomic missile. That he was trying to stop.
Right.
So
it's onto a different type of propaganda. Look, it even has the bomb going off in the background there. Yeah.
Yep.
So, Paul, then what does it say in the top right corner of that label? Then is it just second appearance?
It says second appearance of the Silver Age Green Lantern, nuclear explosion cover and splash page. They actually call out the nuclear explosion in the liner notes.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Very good. So, Paul, how did you come across this particular book? Now, we all know that to me, you're probably the biggest Green Lantern fan I know. How did you come across this book? Was this an eBay pickup for you?
This was one of those. I think I got it in an auction. This one was Comic Connect.
Okay.
I got it in an auction,
okay.
Which I think I mentioned too, that I have to stop doing auctions because they get very dangerous.
Right.
I can do that.
Click a button.
Yeah, I can do the buy it now in the auctions, but when I'm bidding on things, I forget what I bid on, and then suddenly when I've won things, I'm like, oh my god, I owe a lot of money.
Yeah. Did you get that book wrong? Get it slabbed yourself, or did it come in that way?
No, it was slabbed. I got it slabbed.
Very cool. Very cool.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And then just to kind of keep the Green Lantern thing going, this is from 1942. This is All American Comics number 38.
Oh boy!
Now, is the Golden Age Green Lantern your favorite, Paul, or is Hal Jordan?
You know what? I think Hal Jordan is my favorite, but Alan Scott, I got to tell you, is a close second. I just picked up again. They're not slabbed; they're going on their way to CGC. But I just picked up some Golden Age Green Lantern issues, so Green Lantern proper from the Golden Age that I'm going to be sending off to CGC real soon. And you know what? I think Hal Jordan is not going to be in the new HBO Max Green Lantern series, but Alan Scott is. So that may actually just kind of, increase my love for Alan Scott. He's just such a great character, and his origin is more mystic. He wields the green flame, but they have tried to actually in the 70s they tried to tie his origin in with the Guardians of the Universe as well. So they're trying to bring it all, but it's just he couldn't affect wood as opposed to yellow, which is what Hal Jordan had for a while. So
right now, I gotta admit, I liked Guy Gardner, is it, as a kid a little bit. Mm-hmm. But I fell in love with Far Sector. This was some great storytelling as well. Mm-hmm. And I'm not going to sit here and say that she's comparable to the iconic Green Lanterns that came before. But my goodness, did they do a good job with a brand new character and putting her outside of everything? And what a weird world that she had to to go and do the work in. But yeah, I recommend Far Sector. It's a mini series that's concluded. Obviously, you might be able to go and find it for $25, like all the issues or whatever. Yeah, if you haven't read Far Sector, it's one of the better DC stories that have been published in the last 5 years.
It really is.
Yeah,
and they got the author, that the woman there, J.M. Demskin, I think.
N.K. Jemisin, yes.
Jemisin, yeah. She's one of the elite sci-fi writers out there today.
Right, and they had Jamal Campbell, a Canadian, do the artwork in the interiors and that, and they like chemistry right off the bat. That two of them, they worked very, very well. And I don't know if they had other stuff on the go or if they just focused on Far Sector at the time, but yeah, it's just good storytelling across the board.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Along with Green Lantern, in the Golden Age, this is from 1944. This is Flash Comics number 60.
Chip Gettler's joined us. I know Chip is down at Heroes Con as well. Chip, I hope that you're having a good time. Stay safe, my man.
Chip.
So I'm looking at the cover.
Yeah, at first I thought, is Thor on that cover? No, it's just Flash going really fast.
And a good grade for that too, with all that black on it.
Yes.
I kind of like the old trade dress on that too.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's incredible.
And they have Hawkman in the corner because Flash and Hawkman shared Flash Comics at the time.
Okay.
So let me ask you, Paul. I mean, obviously you're probably a Hawkman fan too, being in DC. Mm-hmm. What did you think of the Black Adam trailer when you saw Hawkman and Dr. Fate and stuff in it?
Oh man, Dr. Fate is one of my favorite characters of all time. I cannot wait to see him, even if he is going to be played by Remington Steele. But I am.
For those of us born in a certain timeline, we understood that reference.
We grew up watching Remington Steele.
James Bond, he's Remington Steele.
Exactly. Yeah. But I cannot wait for that. And Hawkman, from a comic standpoint, Hawkman has had one of the most disjointed, unfollowable histories of all time. He has been, a million different things, and every writer has tried to clear it up. But I still love him. He's still an incredible character.
Well, he's one of those characters like Moon Knight, right? Even if you never read Moon Knight or if you never read Hawkman, they have such an iconic design to them. Yes. They're instantly recognizable, and they just look cool as hell.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah. And yeah, you're right. Hawkman's been around
same thing with
ages.
Adam Strange. I'd love to see them do something with Adam Strange, media-wise.
Yeah.
Again, these 70-year-old characters that have never had their opportunity to step forward as a solo character in big-time media, but now we may get that opportunity.
Yeah, I mean, he was in the show Krypton, but if you didn't know he was Adam Strange, if they hadn't have said it, you wouldn't know he was Adam Strange.
Oh.
But the character is actually in the show Krypton.
Okay. I did not see that show.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's worth it if you. Yeah.
He's a great character. They need to do something with him. Mm-hmm. And I'd love to see an Etrigan the Demon series too.
Oh yeah.
I want to see like a buddy cop series with him and Zatanna. Etrigan and Zatanna together. Just pair them up and send them off.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be fun. That'd be a lot of fun. Okay, let's come now back to the Silver Age. This is Submariner number 14 from 1969.
Ooh, nice fire cover.
Wow.
It's funny because this was actually
Human Torch.
Yeah, this was the first Silver Age appearance and death of Toro. So he appeared first in the Silver Age and died in the same issue.
Really?
Yep.
Okay.
Has no sidekicks, huh?
Yeah, well Toro. Sorry, Mr. Android, I guess you're dying. But yeah, so what does it say in the right corner then? Is that what it speaks about? Is Toro?
It's his first Silver Age appearance and death.
Yeah,
Toro. Mad Thinker appearance, the Avengers, the X-Men, Spider-Man, Thing, and Tony Stark cameo. So it is jam-packed with Marvel.
I was gonna say that's a full book.
Wow. So who's at the helm for that book then? That's not is that
Roy Thomas?
Stanley? Okay.
Roy Thomas wrote it. Marie Severin and Miles Exposito art. which Marie Severin was a stalwart artist for
Am I the only one that misses the letterboxes on the side?
Yeah.
I love the boxes.
Yeah, I always liked the Nuff Said ones. They were more on the Fantastic Four than anything else. But yeah, the Nuff Said bubbles or stars, however you want to phrase them. But yeah, that's a hell of a cover. Hell of a cover.
Mm.
Drying out Namor.
Mm-hmm.
Old Twice has joined us. Hopefully you're doing well, my man.
I got 2 more to go.
Fan.
This is from 1944. This is Batman number 24.
Ooh.
Oh my goodness. Holy cow. We just jumped from Submariner to Batman 24. Wow.
I love the back the fifth war bond across the top.
Hold on. Look at that grade.
That's what I was just looking at, Chris.
Incredible.
Because I didn't see any cracks in the yellow. That's amazing.
Wow.
I like the Gladiator cover too, where he's riding the horses in the chariot.
So Batman 24. So I guess he's been around safely for about 3 to 4 years. So I'm going to guess that book is 43?
44.
44. Did you say 44 earlier?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Yeah, I got caught up, just stunned at that grade. 6.5. My goodness. That could be a mortgage payment. That is incredible.
And with the Batman name, with the space separated, Batman.
Yeah.
Yep.
Not Batman.
Batman. Yeah. Wow. Yeah, John's saying that's in better shape than his Uncanny 101. Yeah, 6.5. Is that off-white to white as well?
It is off-white to white, yep.
My God, how these books survived. Incredible.
Right.
Wow. Okay. Can you read us what it's actually written beside the trade dress there, that small font?
Sure. It says, in this issue, Batman and Robin lead off with a truly unusual adventure in time. It happened in Rome.
Time traveling Batman and Robin. Love it.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Well, I mean, back then there was nothing that they weren't doing on the covers, right?
Right. Yeah. So who was at the helm for that one then? Was it Bob Kane? And
no.
Okay.
Don Cameron and Joe Samanchian stories, and two classic Batman artists, Jerry Robinson and Dick Sprang did the art.
Oh wow! Okay. Wow. Excellent.
Yeah, that is great.
All right, and then the last thing I have is kind of it's not really a comic, but it's something that I picked up not too long ago, and I just cannot stop looking at it. This is a cover of Action Comics #1.
Oh my God.
This is the silver. This is a silver New Zealand comics that they do. It's all silver, but I just I just look at this and I just start to drool, and I'm like, oh my God. So,
ladies and gentlemen, the 9.9.
Remy? 9.9 too.
Remy?
Yeah! Yeah!
I've been waiting to do that. Wow.
That's funny.
That is a great reproduction of that cover too. It's so flawless.
Yeah.
And they have a couple of them. They have Detective Comics 27. They have Brave and the Bold number 28. They have Batman #1. Just incredible.
Now, did you pick it up in a 9.9 or did you submit it yourself that way?
I did not. I submitted it myself. So.
Oh my goodness! You should have recorded yourself the day that you pulled that out in 9.9.
Yeah. Mm.
Wow, that's fire! Incredible. Yep, and that's where it started, right there. That book is probably the reason why the 3 of us and the 23 people are watching. If that book wasn't published, how different times would be.
I like the little DC logo on the label too, up top.
Yeah, this is the only thing that you can get a DC logo on from CGC.
Huh.
Those books or Action Comics 1?
The any of the New Zealand.
Okay.
This is not a book. This is just a reproduction of the cover. Just so
okay.
You know. Hey, it's not actually a book. It's just a reproduction of the cover again, but it's all silver. and because it's all silver, it actually kind of, like the metal covers that you can get nowadays,
Yep.
they're more prone to get some of the higher grades because they are metal.
Yes.
Um, but yeah, the New Zealand mint is the only thing that you can currently get a DC logo on from CGC.
Well, that is a beauty.
Incredible. Wow. Way to end it. Terrific. Well, Paul, that was fabulous, my man.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, that was incredible, Paul. Really glad I got to co-host this show. That was a great bunch of books to look at.
Okay, so like I said, I have one more tri-pack prize pack. Don't say that 3 times fast. To give away, and I will share the screen. Just give me a second here, everybody.
So weird, no back and forth action today.
So since we have the godfather of the comic book community Grow Together initiative here in the house, why not a better hashtag than the hashtag that everyone should already know? Hashtag Grow Together. If you can go ahead, everyone that's in the chat, there's 23 of us. Make sure you tap that like button, put in the hashtag Grow Together, and please subscribe to Sector 2815, Gary B, the Casual Comic Guy, and myself if you haven't already. That's the one caveat that I'm asking in order to participate in today's giveaway. And I'm presuming that you're already subscribed to Rob's Fat Stacks. That's why you find yourself here today. But yeah, with that being said, Paul, my man, what is coming up on the Sector 2815 YouTube channel?
We will be doing another rollicking episode of Guess That Key very soon, within the next week or two. I do a series with Mark from Legion of Comics on the Dark Crisis, kind of going through it. We'll have an episode coming out within the next week, probably on the 2 tie-ins, the Flash and the Young Justice tie-in, as well as we have a very special guest that will be appearing on the Dark Crisis coming up very soon, like within 3 or 4 weeks. So not going to spoil it yet, but we got big plans. So
very special, very special. I'll be hitting up Mark to find out the details then. Mark can't keep a secret to save his life, but no. With that said, everyone that's hanging out down in Charlotte, that's spending a little bit of time with us, either on the con floor or whether you're in your hotel room taking a little bit of a break, thank you for joining us. Like I said, I'm on behalf of the 2 other guests or 2 other people that are on the panel, we would love to be there for Heroes Con. Mm-hmm. We know how special of a con that is. And we see 29 people right now in the chat. Please go ahead, like I said, and hit that like button so that Rob can get trending. And please make sure you subscribe to the 3 of us in order to participate. And with that being said, I got 22 people that have entered it. And let's fire it up. 3, 2, 1. Wheel of Fish. And boom, Dave collects. Yeah.
All right, congrats.
Nice. Congratulations, Dave.
Show him what he's got, Chris.
I believe Dave is in California, if I'm right. Anyways, Dave, please reach out to me on Instagram with your address. I believe that you won something before, maybe on my 500 or 600 subscriber giveaway when I did that. But yeah, there'll be no left or right this time. It's just what I got down here. The prize pack that Dave will be collecting, or pardon me, will be getting first is a Jeff Johns book. This is a book that's still monthly right now, Flashpoint Beyond. This is issue 0. This was an incredible read. I'm sure Paul can verify that.
Absolutely.
This has one of those, oh my God, did they just kill off that character moments? Mm-hmm. And this book was a banger, and I enjoyed it so much that I have to get it out into the community as well. And it wouldn't be a giveaway by me if I didn't have a Spider title here. This is the variant cover for Spider-Punk #1. As you can see, Spider-Punk's actually hanging upside down, performing in this concert. For those of you that didn't read or haven't been reading Spider-Punk, the entire story takes place in a world that's based off punk music. So bands and song titles are often referred in this particular book. It is a hell of a good story that has a lot of punk references. If you enjoy the Sex Pistols or the Ramones, there are references that are in this, and also some lesser known punk bands as well. It was a very good read, and this is the variant cover. I've never taken this book out of the bag and board that it's in. And last but not least, this is Image issue 1. This is a book that collects a bunch of short stories from both past and present and future Image titles that's been coming out. It's a square bound. It is a bit of a bigger book, like I said, and there's some very good storytelling in here as well. This book is one of those books that led me to pick up a couple other Image issues that have now come out since this book was released, I believe about 4 months ago. So yeah, that's what I got for you. And by the way, a nice quiet homage to the first Image title that was ever released. Liefeld's Youngblood was the first Image title that was out of the gate way back in the early 90s when all those creators walked away from Marvel and DC to make themselves a little bit more extra money. A lot of money. But yeah.
Exactly.
But I just see, let's see that Brian has now joined us. With that said, everyone, if you haven't participated and sent in a nomination form into the Comic Book Community Awards that Brian is kindly dedicating a lot of his life and money to, please do so. Please remember SlabHub if you decide to nominate a fun show. With that being said, on behalf of Gary and Paul, thank you everyone for joining us. Make sure that you're subscribed to all 4 channels that are part of this event today. Paul, thank you for the journey that you took us on.
Thank you.
Gary, thank you very much for spending a little bit of time in the seat that I'm usually occupying. I can't every way.
Absolute pleasure.
And,
you and me, Rob, are interchangeable on each other's channels. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. And with that said, everyone, I'll be dropping a Walmart video in the next little while. I'll also be dropping 2 Cool Guys, 2 Hot Picks tomorrow. That little show that Mark and I like to put together, talking about a book that you may want to pick up for this for this upcoming New Comic Book Day. And you can catch me Wednesday live, where I have an open invitation to anyone to come on my channel. If you picked up some books for New Comic Book Day, or if you got some books recently in that you want to show that you're going to be looking forward to reading. With that said, everyone, thank you so much for spending time with us this Saturday. And look forward to next week. Rob will be back in the pilot chair. I'm sorry, I don't know who the guest is off the top of my head, but I'm sure Rob will talk about it on all the channels he'll be on between now and next Saturday. Guys, again, thanks for spending some time with us. And I'm just going to end the broadcast like this.